Cost of living crises. Why these blue states are becoming unlivable. If you're living in California, New York, or any of the other top blue states, you need to hear this. Skyrocketing housing, crushing taxes, and everyday expenses are forcing families, professionals, and retirees to pack up and leave. Today, we break down the 8 states where life is getting harder and why the exodus is only growing. 1. The housing catastrophe. Restrictive zoning and sky-high prices. The core of the crisis is housing. Blue states, particularly their major metro areas, Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York City, Boston, Seattle, are plagued by severe housing shortages. The primary culprit is decades of restrictive local zoning laws that prioritize single-family homes, limit density, and create lengthy, costly approval processes for new construction. This not-in-my-backyard mentality, often supported by existing homeowners protecting property values, has choked supply. The result is a brutal economic equation. Extreme demand meets artificially limited supply. Median home prices in these states are often double or triple the national average. And rents have followed suit, consuming 40–50% or more of the average renter's income. For many, the dream of home ownership has evaporated, and even renting feels precarious. 2. The tax burden. High state and local taxes. Blue states consistently rank highest for combined state and local tax burdens. These taxes fund robust public services, excellent schools, social safety nets, infrastructure, which are attractive draws. However, for middle-class families not fully utilizing every service, the high income, property, and sales taxes can feel like a heavy toll with diminishing returns. The federal cap on state and local tax deductions further amplified this pain for some. While the wealthy can often manage, the middle class feels the squeeze acutely, as these taxes take a significant bite out of disposable income already strained by housing costs. The perception, fair or not, is that residents are paying a premium to live in these states without a commensurate improvement in their daily quality of life. 3. Energy and utility costs. The green transition premium. Leading on climate action is a point of pride for blue states, with ambitious goals for renewable energy and emissions reductions. However, transitioning infrastructure is expensive, and these costs are frequently passed directly to consumers in the form of some of the nation's highest electricity, natural gas, and gasoline prices. Regulations like cap-and-trade programs and stringent building codes, while environmentally beneficial, add to the cost of living and doing business. For a family deciding between filling the tank or buying groceries, or a small business facing soaring utility bills, the green premium can be a breaking point, making lower-cost states with cheaper energy appear more livable. 4. The cafeteria plan of regulations and business costs. Blue states often have a dense thicket of regulations covering labor, environment, and business operations. These include high minimum wages, which can increase costs for services, mandatory paid family and sick leave, stringent environmental protections, and complex permitting. While each regulation aims to address a legitimate social or economic issue, the cumulative effect raises the cost of doing business. These costs are ultimately passed on to consumers in the form of higher prices for goods, services, and housing. It creates an expensive ecosystem where everything from a cup of coffee to a new porch renovation costs more than it would elsewhere. 5. The urban concentration effect and its downstream impacts. The crisis is most visible in superstar cities, but its effects ripple outward. As high-income professionals in tech, finance, and law cluster in these hubs, they drive up prices in the core city. This displaces middle and working-class residents to inner suburbs, who then displace lower-income residents further out, in a cascading wave of unaffordability. This suburban and exurban sprawl leads to nightmarish commutes for those who can't afford to live near their jobs, incurring massive costs in time, transportation, and vehicle maintenance. The vibrant urban core becomes a fortress of wealth, while the surrounding areas grapple with inflated costs without the salary premium. 6. The public safety and quality of life perception shift. During the COVID-19 pandemic, perceptions around public safety and urban management shifted for many. Highly publicized struggles with homelessness, property crime, and open-air drug markets in cities like San Francisco, Los Angeles, Portland, and Seattle have eroded the sense of security and civic order. For families paying exorbitant sums to live in these areas, the sight of encampments, concerns about school safety, and frustration with government responses can become the final straw. The feeling emerges. Why am I paying $4,000 a month in rent and high taxes to deal with this? This quality of life calculation is driving both physical relocations and the political narrative that these states are in decline. 7. The remote work revolution and geographic arbitrage. The widespread adoption of remote work broke the immutable link between high salary and high-cost location. Knowledge workers no longer need to live in Silicon Valley or Manhattan to earn a coastal salary. This has unleashed a wave of geographic arbitrage, where individuals and families move from blue state hubs to lower-cost areas in red or purple states like Texas, Florida, Tennessee, Arizona, while keeping their jobs. This exodus of high earners can drain tax bases and consumer spending from blue states, while further inflating housing markets in receiving states. It has given people a tangible escape hatch from the cost of living trap, accelerating population loss. 8. The structural economic shift and the squeezed middle. Ultimately, the blue state model is creating a bifurcated economy. It works exceptionally well for the highly educated, top 20% in growth industries, tech, biotech, finance, professional services, and provides a vital safety net for the very poor. However, it is increasingly hostile to the traditional middle class: teachers, nurses, civil servants, tradespeople, and small business owners. These pillars of the community find themselves priced out of housing, burdened by taxes, and watching their disposable income shrink. They are the ones for whom the state is becoming unlivable, as they can neither qualify for substantial assistance nor keep up with the costs driven by the wealthy elite. There it is, the harsh truth behind the cost of living crisis in blue states, and why thousands are packing up and leaving. From soaring housing costs to taxes that drain wallets, these trends are reshaping the American landscape. If you're thinking about relocation or just want to understand why friends and neighbors are leaving, this video gave you the inside look. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you stay updated on the biggest economic shifts shaping our country today.